welcome to the Mind Body Podcast, your rebellious podcast with me, your host, Maria, where it is all about a strong body, calm mind, healing, and fully living. And today we have a treat, and that is Dr. Cheryl, who is a personal and business strategist, a medical professor, author, speaker. And why she's here is because her goal is to help people thrive. And these are the high vibes people we want here. So hello, Dr. Cheryl. How are you doing today?
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. Like we already started chatting. I'm like, oh my gosh, this needs to be on recording. So let's dive right in and let's get to know who is Dr. Cheryl by you giving us 3 words and a little bit of a backstory behind each word to who you are so that we can know you.
For sure. I would say I'm real. I don't beat around the bush too easily. I just go right for it. I want to help people, and I want people. I only help people in the way that I know that is going to actually help them. So I don't beat around the bush when it comes to, oh, this might work. No, this works or this doesn't work. I'm very real about that. I'm persistent. My father would tell me all the time, you're very persistent. I don't let things go. If I know it's right, I'm going to just keep plugging. And sometimes the direct route is not going to allow us to get into whatever we're trying to do, whether it be a new business venture, a new idea, a book, education, whatever it is. Sometimes the direct route is just not the route that's going to work. So you got to go around and got to go around and got to go around and figure out how to open the door to be able to get what you want. And I think rebellious is a really good theme for that, because it's not taking the easy way out. It's like, okay, we're going to figure this out and we're going to do it the right way. And we're going to, And then I think the last word I would say is genuine. Like, I really care. I think maybe that's one of my downfalls, is that I end up caring about my clients and my patients sometimes more than they care about themselves.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
So 3 great words, and I have questions on all of them, but let's go with the last one, because I will tell you, yes, I care about clients, and I say that sometimes I can see the potential in people that they don't think they have that potential, but sometimes it's scary and there is fear and there is excuses really for why somebody cannot move on that way, because fear is standing in the way and it's fogging the clarity that's in front of them. Let's talk a little bit about that. Like, how do you help a client move past that point of being stuck? And, I mean, that happens to all of us in real life. So what are your tools? Because you have a very diverse background, to get somebody to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, to get clarity around the situation.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic question. So my background is I'm a sports chiropractor. Right out of school, I opened my own clinic and I failed absolutely miserable. I just like flat on my face, learned everything the hard way, closed up shop, moved, tried some other things, and then reopened another clinic somewhere else. And all the lessons that I had learned by falling on my face, I was able to implement that in my next clinic. And then later, we can get into my full story later. I ended up hurting my back. I played played pro football for 12 years and destroyed joints and things. And so bending over a table wasn't really in the cards for me. So I sold the practice and I moved into corporate, but I used all those same tactics and tools that I learned in business all the way through in the corporate setting. And it worked really, really well. So I've used all of this experience in understanding, where are we? Where do we want to go? There's a lot of mess in the middle. How do we sift through all the craziness? And it's really about putting everything on the table, going through each plot, each category systematically, putting it on the table. What do we want? Where are the sticking points? Where are we really good at? What maybe could change? And then after we sift through all that stuff, we take a step back, do some breathing exercises, and understand, okay, if I could just change something in the next 90 days, what would be the most impactful of all the stuff that we talked about? Because we put it all on the table already. If it could be just the one thing that was the most impactful, what can we tackle that? And that many times clears up a lot of the confusion. If we can just figure out what the one thing is, a lot of other things fall away. And so that's what I help clients do, is get unstuck by, let's put it all on the table, all the good, all the bad. Let's figure out what number one is, and then let's work that plan to get number one accomplished. And then we reevaluate and see how much stuff has fallen away. Maybe something new's popped up. It's a cool system how it's very cyclical, but it's so clean in getting through the mess and the gray and the craziness and the unclear ideas that maybe I should be doing this, maybe I should be doing that. No, let's just whittle it all down and we're going to focus on one thing.
Yeah. And I love that you started with the fact that you brought up your mistakes, because I say there are no mistakes. I say there are lessons. And sometimes when something doesn't work out, there is a lessons for it in it. So what is the lessons for, a failed practice, whatever it is that you're going through life, a failed relationship, a failed friendship, whatever it is that you conceive as a failure, what is the lesson that you can take forward into the next thing? And then the other thing that you brought up that I love is, you said you ask people, what do you want? And I'll tell you, so frequently I ask people, what do you want?
I don't know.
And first I get the stare of like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, well, where would you like to go? How can you go somewhere if you don't know where you're going? And then two, it's so interesting. And I hear this over and over, and I'm curious if you get the same. I'll hear, this is what I want. And then 10 minutes of why I cannot have what I want. Mm-hmm. People are ready to convince you why they cannot have. So I hate my job, but I have to keep this job because and it's like, okay, let's get that clarity. And I get it. Like, I quit my job and it was scary. I understand the finances, we all have to pay our bills. So I get it. But
absolutely. And sometimes that clarity comes from just creating the plan, not necessarily like if you're quitting your job, that's a big life change. Maybe quitting the job is not the goal. Maybe creating a plan to quit the job is the goal. And then you can take a little piece at a time. And I call them micro steps, because if you do a little something every day, you're going to get to where you want to be. And you're completely right. People, unfortunately, we are programmed to follow what superiors have said, what schools have said, and we don't really think for ourselves as a community. And as individuals, and I find that so sad. So when people come to me and they say, I want this, or they don't really know what they want, but they see this like thing in the future, that's when I get really excited, because we can take that information and we can boil it down and say, okay, what can we do right now?
Yeah. And another great point that you brought up, which I think it's very important, it's great to have a plan, but realize that the plan might not go straight from A to B. It might go from A to Z and then zigzag around and get to D. And maybe your final destination is D. It's funny, I was a guest on a podcast this morning when we talked exactly about that, because my practice started as a fitness studio. And because things didn't go the way I wanted them to go, now it has a comprehensive solution of like mindset and mindfulness and energy work. And it's like such a greater and more comprehensive offering than where I started. And it's all because things didn't go the right way, right?
Right.
But went exactly right, because look what they have brought me. So I think those are all important points to think about. You started by talking about saying that you're real. And I so love that, because I think being real and authentic is becoming a thing that's not out there anymore, unfortunately. With the social pressure that's out there, and now with social media, I have a teen daughter and I see her friends and how that's impacting them. And I think as an adult, we have that pressure. What is the importance in you getting your clients to thrive, in them being real and authentic and staying true to themselves rather than to what they should do?
Sure. I think that like we were just talking about a few minutes ago about being programmed, that doesn't necessarily jive with us as individuals. That narrative doesn't fit most of us. And if we could just step back and say, what do I want? What is going to make me strong? What's going to make me mentally fit? What's going to make me joyful? Many times it's not the narrative. Maybe it's that weird unbeaten path that we need to take a left turn at, and that's okay. That's okay. So let's work the plan and pivot as necessary and keep coming back to it. Is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? As we move forward down into the plan. So I think it's so critical for people to really love what they're doing, feel good inside their own skin, whether it be identity or their pronouns, or there's all sorts of different things that are rather new for people to feel uncomfortable in their own skin. If people feel comfortable, they thrive, they step up, they help other people, they contribute to their society, and it's so much more pleasant to be around somebody who's happy than miserable. So I think it's just really important that people are they're congruent with what's going on within themselves, and it's okay to step outside of the norm or the box to do that.
And another fantastic point is, you said it's good to feel happy and be around happy people. What I'm finding is that the status quo has become acceptance that I will not be happy. I will kind of be mediocre. I'll be okay because I have all of these obligations. And it's like, no. They're not mutually exclusive. You can be happy and responsible, right? And thrive and healthy and all of those things all together.
You can. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And I think I need to clarify that many times when I talk to entrepreneurs, we get into this like rabbit hole where entrepreneurship is so awesome, you're doing your own thing. But for some people, what makes them thrive is being within a corporation and being either a leader or follower within those realms. And that is completely healthy and normal and good if that's what you choose. I'm not trying to say that entrepreneurship and our path is like the only path. It's truly authentic to that person.
Whatever is true to you. And there's great people making changes in corporation. That is a great point. My journey was from corporate to entrepreneurships, but there are plenty of people who go the other way around, from entrepreneurship to corporate, and they thrive there. So there is no right or wrong path. It's whatever path is true to you and congruent to you.
Yes.
Yeah, great point. So you have a medical background, you have an athletic background. Actually, I love to correlate athletics, being an athlete, to being an entrepreneur, because I think there is a lot of overlap into the mindset there. But you help people not only from a business standpoint, but also from a health and wellness standpoint, and you integrate the two to create that holistic offering. Tell us a little bit more about that, because I'm a huge proponent on self-care, and I say, you can be successful with a broken broken body or a broken mind.
Yeah, you absolutely need to have both working together. And so what I usually do with my clients is I take them through not only some assessments for where they're stuck emotionally, but what's going on with their body. What kind of things are happening? Are they getting headaches? Maybe they're struggling with some reading. Maybe they've lost some balance. Maybe they used to be an athlete and now the horizon bounces. All those are clues that maybe there's something going on in the brain that we could tap into to modify or correct. And that can help what they feel like, what they maybe are stuck on. So it works together. Our brain and our bodies are so connected, and well, they are connected. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that they're connected. So they eat crappy stuff, they don't exercise, and then they wonder why they're depressed. Well, it's connected, it's chemicals. So what we feed our system, either emotional, food, breathing clean air, all of those things make a big difference for us and how we feel and how we show up and how we can perform at our job and for our families, how we can be a good parent. It's all interconnected. So when I talk to clients or new clients, I really dig into what's really going on physically and emotionally, and how do we get you from where you are to where you want to be in all aspects.
Absolutely love that, because I always tell people your body is a mechanism that constantly speaks to you. We don't live in our bodies. We are very disconnected in our bodies from where I stand. We live always here in the mumbo jumbo in here. And the one big thing that I pride myself with is in the beginning, a new client, how are you feeling? Fine. How's your body? Fine. And then as they progress, and if they feel off, if their mobility is off, they know. We start going through the list. Did you sleep last night? What did you eat yesterday? Are you hydrated? How was your stress level yesterday? So now they start making correlations, and they'll even say, they'll walk in and say, I knew you'd ask me, so I've been thinking, what did I do yesterday? And it's such a shift in awareness and such a shift in mind-body connection to comprehending that, yeah, you can eat crap and sit on the couch all day long and then say, well, I don't know why my back is tight.
Right.
I don't know why I'm bloated. Well,
Mm-hmm.
your body is giving you a clear sign of something that you're doing is not working for it.
Right. Just pay attention. Just pay attention a little bit, and your body will tell you what's going on.
Always. The body never lies. That's what I tell people. So great.
And I love that. I love that. And particularly because I know that the body is always, it's a continual optimist. It always wants to be at 100%. It is never going to give you a half-assed day. It's going to give you everything it's got every single time. No question. You just have to give it the right inputs so it can give you the right outputs.
So well said. And I'll tell you, last week I attended my first ever dissection workshop, which was a lot. But let me tell you, my biggest message, well, one was such a huge reinforcement of what I preach, that you can, the person was a 59-year-old male, and just the face was covered. So looking at the body, he was very slim. But man, when we started going under, and we had no history when we started, you could see the body fat. You could see the lack of glide between the connective tissue and the muscles. You can see the weak fascia connections. I mean, you could see a lot from the lifestyle that that person lived. So it's like, when you look under the hood, you can pretend to be all that, but the lifestyle that you lived, it's all reflected in your body. Your body does not lie. So you said it so well. Yeah. The body.
I love that you got to see a dissection. I love dissections. They're in school these days. So I went to a chiropractic school a number of years ago, and we had lots and lots of bodies. We were all assigned to the bodies. I know it was very expensive for the schools to get the bodies. We were very respectful, but we dug in and really learned the body. These days, kids are learning from a computer, and I just think you're missing out on like the touch and the feel, and the smells a little not great, but it's part of the experience.
Yeah.
But when you can put your finger in someone's heart, or the hepatic duct, or see a joint, how it actually moves, or the shoulder, how it sucks in versus just hangs there, it's a game changer. It's so cool.
It is absolutely fascinating, and it has taken me long to get there mentally, because I get very squirmish. But I was a big girl. And you are right. It was fascinating. And I came home and I told my mom, everybody should do that. And she just looked at me like, I was like, if you see what's underneath the skin, and you see how your lifestyle is reflected into that, it will surely make you think twice about the choices that you make.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
I can keep talking to you forever. Such a fascinating conversation. You're such a fascinating person with all that you do. All right, let's dive in and tell us any favorite quote or a piece of advice you want to share with us.
Piece of advice is, don't follow the crowd. Just don't be lazy. Understand what makes you thrive. Create a plan and work the plan, and fail forward. Just keep failing forward. It's okay. Just do your thing that makes you thrive. Don't follow the crowd. That's my piece of advice. Is that it's really good to create a plan, work the plan, understand that the plan might go awry, but you learn something every single time that you take action. So don't be lazy.
Action. That's key. Take action.
Yeah, take action. Go do your thing.
All right. What's your definition of rebellious?
I think first off, you need to know what the rules are. You need to know what you're rebelling against to know if you're really rebelling or you're following the crowd, right? So I think you need to know what is the traditional path, and then you need to know what makes you thrive, so that you're able to decide, is this for me or is this not for me? And if you follow the crowd, that's great, but you've made that decision. If you don't follow the crowd, understand why. Deep down, why are you not following the crowd? It's not just to be an asshole. It's to be somebody that you know you are supposed to be. And I think that's what rebellious is. I think maybe for kids, it's a little different. They're just trying to get attention. But I think in the general scheme of things, if you're rebellious, it's because you know what the rules are. It doesn't fit you. You need to find a new path.
You know, speaking of kids, I tell my husband, because my daughter is rebellious and she's a teenager, so it's an interesting combination. And I tell my husband, she will be good in life. We just need to survive teenagers. It's on us. She gets to teach us lessons on parenting. Dr. Cheryl, where can people find you? Anything you want to share on your practice? Where can people find you? Website, social media?
Sure. LinkedIn is the best way to get a hold of me. You can also email me at Cheryl or C Luther at quarterlymethod.com. Either way is good. LinkedIn is probably the easiest. Most people can find me on there. But I'd be happy to speak with anybody who's interested in getting unstuck or even wants to talk about getting unstuck.
Yes, love it. Well, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy and the vibrancy that you brought here to us. Thank you so much for your time. Do hope, Rebels, that you enjoyed this. Certainly let us know if you have questions. And of course, make sure that you do stay rebellious. See you next time. Thank you, Dr. Cheryl. Can't get enough of those rebellious conversations? Do make sure you subscribe, like, and share with your friends.